This year's tornado season has only just begun, and twisters have already touched down in a number of states. In Oklahoma, for example, the roof of a building was torn off as a storm moved through. In Mississippi, 3 died as a result of storms there. With these recent weather incidents, all eyes are on NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the government agency that oversees weather predictions. They are one of the agencies impacted by cuts from DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency. Between 600 to 800 employees have lost their jobs, accounting for more than 5% of the agency's workforce. We're excited to say storm chaser Kyle Cutten is here with us now. Welcome back.
Thank you, Hena. Good morning.
Good morning. It's great to have you, Kyle. So final statistics for 2024 show more than 1,700 confirmed tornadoes touching down nationwide, making it the second most active tornado season in recorded history. Kyle, we see how many more there were in 2024 compared to previous years. What made the 2024 season so much more active?
You know, there's a combination of things. Every 10 years we get this cycle. Back in 2013, one of the worst tornadoes recorded ever in the history of man was recorded in El Reno. And excuse me, I guess that was 11 years ago. But we get these 10-year, 11-year cycles. I sat right here 1 year ago telling you that I was worried that we were going to see one of the worst years coming up, and there it went.
I remember that. And already, multiple tornadoes have already hit. On Tuesday alone, we confirmed storms were confirmed in 3 states. Tornado season, like I mentioned, is just beginning. What are you expecting for 2025?
Well, we were in Mississippi 2 weeks ago. We were behind one for a good few miles. Luckily, it was in the country. 2 weeks before that, we were behind one in Louisiana that went for 38 miles. Luckily, it only took out a few outbuildings. But I expect this to be the worst year when it comes to the public safety with the NOAA cuts. And I have sources inside of NOAA that tell me it's bleak right now, if I'm being honest with you, Hannah. The morale is down. People are on eggshells. It's just, for our industry, this is about the worst case scenario.
I'm glad you mentioned that. We know about 5 to 6% of NOAA is being cut. What impact will those layoffs have on weather coverage and, of course, the work you do, Kyle?
I mean, this is going to make it incredibly hard. It's already a difficult job trying to find tornadoes in the middle of the night with only lightning strikes to look as a backdrop. Without having the resources we've had or less resources, I fear that there's going to be more fatalities, more injuries, and quite honestly, more unwarned tornado storms. So it almost becomes every storm, you got to be a little bit more heightened and ready for anything.
So how will these layoffs impact the average person? What can we do to protect ourselves if we're not getting the accuracy and we're not getting these predictions in time?
Well, I'll be quite honest, pages like ours on Facebook and YouTube and all other platforms, Tornado Tacklers, we have 18 storm chasers spread out across the country, and I'm adding more every day. So I'm trying to get as much coverage in as many states so that people can personally see, you know, if you can't rely on one factor or another, at least with the social media, it's instant, and we live stream right behind those tornadoes.
And you mentioned you have contacts in NOAA. What do they say is the worst case scenario, again, with 5% of its people being cut?
The unwarned storms. And right now, I want to be careful with this, but the morale is at an all-time low. They're actually on a social media gag order and can't even talk. So, you know, this is the worst they've ever seen it in those offices.
What can people do to prepare themselves, Kyle?
You got to have shelters. If you don't have a shelter, get ready for any interior closet, bathrooms, believe it or not, your tub. I've gone on chases where I've met people that literally had 2x4s that were stuck right by them, but because they got in an interior closet with couch cushions, that saved their life. The amount of stories I have of close calls in that scenario, but you cannot be on the exterior of your house. If you do not have a basement, you need to be in the most interior pocket of your house.
So between the layoffs we're seeing at NOAA, and of course you're predicting a busier tornado season, what I'm getting from you is it could be catastrophic this year.
Yes. Yes, this is, I don't want to overdo it, but just think of this. If storms are going unwarned and people don't have the ability to be told that it's coming, I mean, this is a scary situation, and I'm really concerned more than ever in my entire career than now.
Last year, you and I talked about shifting Tornado Alley. Can you talk to me a little bit more about that for this upcoming season?
I mean, look at what's happened in Kentucky over the last 3 years. We've had teams helping people coming out of rubble and places that have never seen tornadoes. And you look at all through Tennessee, you look at, I know those places have traditionally gotten them before, but they're getting them at a rate now that you have to ask what's going on.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.